you mentioned obviously that meme with The Rock. I think there's many memes and gifs that kind of go around with The Rock. But I've kind of got to ask you about what happened in 2024 because I mean obviously Gallus's name was all over the internet when ESPN broke that news that you guys have been training The Rock for his first WWE match in 8 years. That when he came back that night, that was actually the first time I'd ever seen a WrestleMania live. So I got to be there in Philadelphia for The Rock's big
Oh,
match,
excellent.
which was
Yeah.
incredible. How do you end up getting the gig to be The Rock's training partner for such a huge match?
Well, I remember my parents had just come over to visit us in Orlando, and I think they get in on the Sunday, and myself and Mark were in the gym on the Monday. We are getting a session in, and then we were going to go into the PC. And I don't think that was the lead up to Stand and Deliver, which would have been NXT's equivalent WrestleMania weekend pay-per-view, or PLE rather. And we weren't on it, so we're kind of disappointed because we'd pretty much been inconsistent with the PLEs, and you want to be on those shows.
Sure.
So we're just thinking, oh well, our parents are over, so maybe that works out a little bit. We can spend some more time with them because obviously being out here, the only time we've really got to go home is really at Christmas when you have like NXT will do like a double taping or a triple taping so that the talent can have time off at Christmas, which I think's great. And I think the main
which is
roster,
great because the main roster doesn't really get that as much, do they?
yeah, it is good, and especially being an international talent, being out here, you do miss home and miss family and miss friends. And at that time of year, I think Christmas is a lot different in the UK. I think it is very different to it is out here. I've always found Christmas quite a special time back home, so it's always good to go back home at that time and catch up. And it's the end of the year, so it's like reset, goal set for next year. But they had come over and we were sitting in the gym and I was literally buying Universal tickets for the Tuesday, I think, because we're like going to go to Universal with our parents. And I clicked, buy tickets, so $600 worth of tickets. And then I get a text through and I thought, oh, that'll be the confirmation. And it was Matt Bloom, who wrestled as A-Train and Albert and Giant Bernard, who we've got a really good relationship with. And he texts going, hey guys, pack your bags. You're going to Los Angeles to train The Rock. And I was just like, we both got it and looked at each other. But my initial reaction was, I've just spent $600 in Universal tickets. Just was like, what? And then we looked at each other and I went, no, this has got to be some kind of rib. And then Wilfie messaged back in the group chat, are you ribbing us? Is this, you taking the piss? He's like, no, I'm serious. He's like, stay by your phones for like travel information. And me and Mark just looked at each other for a second going, what is going on here? Like, this is strange. Like, it was a really strange feeling. So then we got confirmation through from the WWE HR department. Hey guys, look, you'll be flying out to LA. You'll be staying downtown LA, Marriott or something like that. I'm like, wow, this is actually happening. And we waited by our phone, and it was about 4:00. We're like, we've not heard anything yet. Should we text them? Like, yeah, we probably should. So we text going, we've not heard anything about our flights. And they're like, oh, really? You're supposed to be on the 4:10 flight? And we're like, all right, we've not heard anything. They're like, just head to the airport. We'll get you on the next flight to Los Angeles. So I think we flew out about 7:00. It was a great experience. It was exciting. And once we get into LA, just went for some food, got a little gym session in, got an early night, and then the next day we got up early again in the gym, getting prepared, and we got a text saying, hey guys, today's training's cancelled. There's been a problem with one of the jets or whatever. I'm like, okay, no problem. They're like, just be ready for the next few days because it's, this is just a small blip. So we got to go out of a day in LA, which was great. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Los Angeles. It's a really big city, a lot of traffic. But it was cool to actually go experience it. Like, I'm a big film fan, like a total cinephile. I'll see everything. So we just went about and went to different places where, like, I remember we went down to Venice Beach and that's where Lords of Dogtown was filmed. And American History X and White Men Can't Jump. So I was just taking pictures and stuff because it was a really cool experience. And sometimes when you're in a city, you don't get a chance to go do that type of thing because it's literally airport, hotel, gym, venue, airport, home. So it was refreshing and it was good to do. And then the next day, and the thing is, this training session didn't happen in a fancy building. Like, I thought it might have happened in the PC, but obviously The Rock has the busiest schedule that any person has ever had. So it was like when he could fit it in, I'd imagine. And it was in this small warehouse, and I'm pretty sure it was just off Compton in LA. So he pulls up at the building, and I'm like, this can't be the place. Like, this just doesn't feel right. We've waited for 10 minutes because we're a little bit early, and then Rock's security guy showed up and went, "Oh, hey, you the Gallus guys?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Come on in." And it honestly felt like an Avengers meeting or something like that, like you were going to be initiated in the Avengers. But we got in, and then shortly after, Michael Hayes came and Bobby Roode, who were the producers for the match, and one of the trainers, Larry, I think as well, was there just to oversee, and Chad Patton, the referee. So we all get talking, and we'd seen Michael Hayes whenever we were up to do main event, and he's a character as well, and I think he kind of take a little bit of light. So he's like, "Oh, it's the Gallus guys," and known Bobby Roode for a while as well. So it was nice, to see familiar faces. And then Rock's truck pulls up, and he comes in, and he's a presence. You know what I mean? But the funny thing is, he arrived in the trunks, the cut-off boots, vest top. So he's obviously just got his stuff on, got ready in the house, and it's just more just thinking him driving through LA traffic, basically in character as The Rock, and just no one would recognise that. But yeah, it was good. Then we got to training, we were getting warmed up, and I just asked him, I was like, because I knew we'd be going through the match, but I was like, to warm up, what would you like to do? And he was like, it's up to you guys. So I was just like, let's get in and let's just roll about for a bit. And it was a surreal experience, like standing there, and he is standing the opposite, and I'm about to lock up with him. And those moments, you're like, what is going on here? And Wolfie said, like, well, we're running through some things for the match, and he had me in like a sharpshooter, and Wolfie said he just had this out of body experience just watching this, going, what is going on here? And it was good. And we played the parts of, I played the part of Seth Rollins, Mark was Cody, and Wolfie was Roman Reigns. And it was funny, like every so often, like Rock would be walking around, and Wolfie would just fling the one up, going, "You're doing well, cousin." Like, it was just, we did, like, because we can't hide our personality. We want to have fun as well as be professional and make it a great experience. And then, we'd got done after the few days, and we really enjoyed it. And I will say this about The Rock, he is one of the most genuine people. Like, what you see in interviews, I feel, is him. Like, he's genuine. And even on the last day, the day before, he was like, "What time is your guys' flights?" And we're like, "Oh, it's 2:00. And he went, "I tell you what, let's bring training forward just so you've got plenty of time to make your flight," which is great, And then once we'd finished up, it was just thanked him for the experience, and we made our way back to Orlando. And when we get back in Orlando, the thing is, we obviously were on a salary. We got paid on top of our salary for our time, and there was a massive case of Terramana and the whole new range of the Project Rock Under Armour gear, which is like $3,500 worth, just waiting for us with a nice little message, like proper classy touch. You just can't say. I just can't say enough good things about the whole experience, and how much of a pleasure it was. And then watching the match as well, like, I was like, because we weren't on Stand and Deliver, and we didn't get to go that weekend, it was disappointing. But once we watched that match, it was, you got a little bit a buzz. Like, we felt like producers watching it, like, oh, that's the spots.
And you could literally work out, it was like spot for spot, like you worked through that whole match to make sure it was solid and on point, the entire thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And even like Bobby Roode wasn't shy in saying, "Look, guys, if you have anything to say or want to contribute anything, like don't be shy. Like ideas are ideas." And some of the things that we had maybe said, like for The Rock, had like kind of made its way into the match. So that was really fun to see. And everyone in that match is a top tier, elite level professional. So we knew it was going to be great anyway. But it was just really fun to watch it being a part of the process of like the training.
And did you get any feedback in terms of why you three got the nod?
Well, during that weekend in the press conferences, I think Shawn Michaels got asked. I see the Gallus crew have been training The Rock, and he just basically said, these guys have a mature head on them. They've been doing it a while. They're very professional, always reliable. So I think we are always safe to work with.
Yeah.
Don't think can't say I've injured anyone in my career. Same for Mark, same for Wolfgang. And if anything, our whole time in NXT, I think that is what we're most proud of, is that we are true professionals of pro wrestling. And I think that is why initially we got chosen, because The Rock is a commodity and you need people in there who know what they're doing and are not going to do anything stupid and are not going to hurt him. And he is The Rock, so everyone's a fan. But once I step in the ring, the fan cap goes off, and I'm Joe Coffey, the professional. So if I've got a job to do, it doesn't matter who it is. You know what I mean? That's who I'm there to work with. Like, again, I've been in the ring with The Rock, training with him. I've wet 20 minutes with Kurt Angle, who is a Hall of Famer, an Olympic gold medalist, multiple-time world champion. I've taken a super kick off of Shawn Michaels. When I'm in that ring, there's business to be done, and I don't really care who it is. That's the professional side of things. So, yeah, and it was cool to see when Shawn had said that in the press conference, because we were disappointed not being on that weekend, but that probably done more for us at that time than being on that show, because it made people realise, well, these guys must really know what they're doing to be in that situation. So, it was a feather in our cap.